Hi, I'm Gerry from Gerry's Craft Room, and in this video I'm going to show you some watercolor techniques. I have Arteza real brush pens, and this is a fine pen with a real pointy tip and a real soft brush. The color at the bottom of the pen is the exact color that comes out of the pen. It goes on a little bit darker, but it dries in the same color, which is really cool. So I'm going to start with the first technique. I spray a little bit of water on both sides of my paper against warping, and I have an empty tape roll, and I'm going to make some circles with the brush pens. I just follow the inside of the empty tape roll with the brush pen to make circles. The little mist of water that I sprayed in the beginning helps the color move a little bit. You don't have to, you can use the brush pen straight on the paper, but the paper has quite some texture, so I liked the added water to help move the colors a little bit. I'm now filling in the circles, about half, and then I'm coming in with my water brush to spread the color a little bit and make a lighter shade of yellow to fill in the circles. Now I'm going to make another circle in the next color, and the fun with this set is that you have quite some colors to choose from, and you can make nice blends of color. The empty tape roll is one of the objects that I'm using as a stamp in my Stamping Without Stamps class. So if you're ready for a tool discovery journey or you want to know more, you can check out in the description box where I added a link to my class. I also added the main products I used in this video in the description box for you. You can find the full list of supplies on my blog. And if you're new here and you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe. And when you do so, you may like to click the little notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Now, because the paper is drying already a little bit, I needed a bit more water from the water brush. Now I'm going to dry my circles with the heat tool. You can let it air dry too, of course, but now you can go on and it speeds up the process a little bit. I'm going to add my next color now, and I'm going to go a little bit darker again. And because the paper is dry, I have to go around with my pen a little bit more, and I have to brush over the paper a little bit more to add color. The color doesn't flow. It comes out in little bits, and they are more a bit like a marker than they are like a water brush. The brush tip is really soft, like a brush, and I think they will work great on smooth paper. And I also think that people that love hand lettering will love these pens too. Now I'm going to add my last sets of circles, and I'm going really bright now. I'm coloring again from the inside and also partly over the edge, and I'm coloring in the little circles again from one side a little bit. And now I'm going to blend out the colors with the water brush again. I blot the circles a little bit every now and then, and I clean the water brush in between the colors so the darker colors don't get mixed with the lighter colors. And I'm doing all the circles at once now. Now I'm cleaning my brush again, and now I'm going to spray a little bit of water, and I'm going to do this in parts. I want to spread the outside of the circles a little bit so they color the rest of the white card. And the white card isn't so white anymore. And I get this, well, let's call it a nice fluffy edge. So it's not so round, but it's a little bit spread. So the circle is still visible, but the color is now moving out a little bit. So you get this nice sort of vein structure, which is really cool texture, I think. So I'm going to do another technique, and I'm going to add a color on my desk now. And I have a glass plate on my desk, so I'm not writing on wood or anything. So I'm adding the color on my desk. You can use an acrylic block too, if you like, or matte or glass matte or media matte or well, whatever you want to like as your surface. So I'm spraying some water now, and I have a bunch of colors that I added, and now I'm dipping in my paper. And this is a really simple technique, one of the simplest techniques, I think. I blot the sides of the card a little bit, and there's quite some color left. I like the first one, but I'm going to add more color to another card. I dip in a few times and then I blot the edges again. And now I'm going to wipe off all that pretty ink. Such a shame. But I'm going to add more ink to my desk, and I'm going to add another layer. And just remember, when you want to layer, you layer on a dry. So dry ink on a dry card, and my card is fairly dry. And if you want to blend, you work wet on wet. And this is just a thing that you can remember when you are working with ink or other wet mediums. So I'm dipping in my paper again to add another layer, and I blot a little bit here and there. I clean the desk and dry the cards, and now I'm going to add another layer on my darkest card. Both cards have a real soft blended look now, and I want a little bit more texture on one of those cards. So one on the left that's lying on my desk is I keep like that, and for the next one I want to add just a little bit more color. And I'm going for a little bit darker color. I also blot every now and then. And now I'm scribbling on my acrylic block, and I'm going to basically stamp with the acrylic block. So it's ink smooching with an acrylic block. And you can press it down, but you can also swipe it over your card. You can also move it a little bit around, so you have a little bit control, not very much really, but just a little bit. If you want to know more about ink smooching, I have a video on that, and fun techniques with totally weird names also, and I will link to that at the top, so you can check that out if you like. I'm going to do another card with more bright colors this time, pinkish colors, pinkish color scheme. So I'm adding color on my block again, and I'm going to stamp up, press down, or ink smooch with the ink acrylic block. I dry my first layer with the heat tool, and I'm cleaning the stamping block at the same time, which saves me so much time because I'm multitasking. So I'm adding my next color on the acrylic block, and I spray some water again, and I'm going to add the color on my card again. And you see, when you press it down, when there's really a lot of water, you get this nice blended soft look, and when there's a little bit water, you get more bright colors that are not diluted so much. So just play around with this. This is fun. Slide, just dab on it, dry in between, blot a little bit, play around, and just see what you get. You will get different results every time, and this is just a really cool technique to try out. So I say give it a go. You can see that adding color like this with just the ink smooching gives you another result than when you already have a layer of color on your card. So there's different ways to go about it. You can add a first layer when you start with your card, or you can add just layers with ink smooching to get some nice color spots. So just play around like this, and you will see this is very relaxing to do. It's fun and it's super easy. Everybody can do this, even if you're a beginner crafter. So I'd say give it a go. I added 2 cards to a white note card, and now I'm going to show you. If you just brush over it, you can see it's a really dry brush effect on the watercolor, on the textured watercolor paper. But if you move it around, so if you make tiny circles with the pen, then you can color your card real easy with this pen too. I'm coloring this piece of paper with this pen because I want to cut some letters, and this way the colors will match the colors of the card. I spray some water now, and I blend out the colors a little bit with the water brush. I'm going to use the Make Art Station to add the sentiment. I added a magnetic ruler on my card with the big magnets on both sides, and I'm adding one in the middle too, so the magnetic ruler stays nicely flat. Now I'm going to add my letters, and I'm going to add them with glue. The Tonic Funky Glue has a real small opening and a firm tip, so it's perfect to add glue to small shapes like this. So I keep adding my glue and adding the letters to the card, and the ruler and the Make Art Station helps really a lot with getting your letters on straight. So it's a real helpful tool. I made stickers with the white letters, and this is really helpful with the small letters because it's so much easier to get them on your card. So I added double-sided adhesive on the back of my paper, and then I ran it through the machine with the letters that I wanted for my sentiments. I'm moving the ruler a little bit up so I can line up the rest of the letters too and see if the letters I already added are straight on. So I'm adding the last letter, so my sentiment is done. And here is the finished card so far. I'm going to add some Nuvo drops, and I'm doing this really fast as you can see. And I'm adding some more drops on the other card that I finished in the same way with the sentiments like I just showed you. And here are all the cards together with the same fun and easy techniques. I hope you are inspired to get some watercolors out and try these techniques yourself. I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and make sure to keep on crafting.